All right, everybody, welcome to ARTizm episode 12. Today we are joined by the creator of the Awakening comic, the one and only Skirtsan. What is up?
Hey, I'm good, thanks.
Yeah, so how about for everybody listening, you describe Awakening briefly?
Okay, so this is a webcomic I started last year, and it's about people who are um, traveling across Victorian London, and they are searching for answers to their own deaths because everyone is dead in this setting.
So,
And here's that girl, and she's trying to find out how she died. That's it.
yeah. So I'm interested. How did you said you wrote this 10 years ago, right?
Yes. I started to think about it 10 years ago.
And how did this idea come to be?
Uh, well, it was like I don't know. It was like the pieces of story that I wanted to tell started to come up together, and I thought, why not make it one big story, because the ideas were cool. So I just put it all together and started to develop the main story like 5 years ago. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, one thing that I noticed while reading it was how intricate the story is. I think it's just recently started to make sense for me. Like everything that was going on and who all the characters are, and I'm just like, oh, okay. So it's like this person is connected in this way, especially Cedric's backstory. That
Yes, yeah.
took me for a trip. So you had
Yeah.
the whole thing written, and then what made you decide to turn it into a comic?
To start off, I'm very bad at writing stuff. I can write good stories because I like to. It's easier for me to say it and to tell people my stories. And I'm good at art, so I think I'm good at art. And I
You
thought,
definitely are.
yeah, it would be the best to make a comic, and it's good for me because I'm consistent with posting the updates every week.
So how many
So
pages do you normally post a week?
it depends. I'm usually I won't post one page because I know some artists who are making comics make just one page per update, but I'm usually it's like from 3 pages to even 6 or 7 if I have a good week.
Okay, wow. So you've had the story kind of ruminating for like 10 years, but
Yes.
as you've been creating the comic, do you find that the story has evolved as well, or is it pretty much laid down?
Yes. I think it's not set in stone because I'm still thinking about how it should end, because I have the events written down, how it should follow the characters, how the development should go in the right direction. But I have everything written down. But sometimes I just look at it and I think, wait, I can change this. I have a I know that there are some parts that I can't move because they would destroy what I've been building before. So it's kind of like a cage I can get out of things that I already drew, because people will be confused.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why.
Okay.
And I think, yeah, I have everything set in stone, but it doesn't mean the ending will be as I think it is.
Yeah. So how many more chapters do you think we have left of Awakening? Is there like a lot left? Or?
I have no idea. I completely have no idea. I know that the average number of pages in one chapter is like 30 or 40, but it changes. So I'm trying to be consistent with that. But I have no idea. We're just in the beginning. I don't want to spoil entire thing, but it's just the beginning of the story.
Oh wow, yeah, because there's so much setup now, and
Yeah.
I so like Al, the one who's married to Claudiso for what I've just realized to be like 200 years, right?
Yeah, she's around this age. Yes,
Yeah.
she's
So and
yeah.
when they go back, he finds his like brother's house, but doesn't go inside, right?
Yeah, he's well it's more like he's not sure what he wants to do in London because he hates this place. But Caldiso is ready to do whatever it takes to discover what happened to her and how she died, because she's like the only one person in the entire town that doesn't remember how she died.
Yeah. So what's funny is so Al is Ezekiel, right? Or am I wrong about that? Or is Sorry?
Yes, can you repeat? Sorry.
Yeah, so Al is someone recognized him to be Ezekiel, right? And Ezekiel is other Al's twin brother, right?
Yeah, he's well, it's like he and his brother are connected, but in a way that well, no one can understand.
Okay.
So he's not sure about what he might find in London. So yeah, so that's how it works.
Yeah, okay. And then Claudiso, if I'm correct, is Rosalinda from the first few pages, right?
No.
Okay.
No,
'Cause that
that's
confused the
not.
shit out of me. I was like, they have orange hair, and this woman has not been mentioned since.
No, yeah, but she's like, I can say that she's one of the most important plot characters in Awakening. I think there are two characters that made the entire story, and she's one of them. She's pretty relevant to the story later, and yeah, she's important.
Okay. And then
Even though she's not appearing.
yeah, it's because I just like for a while I was like, no, it doesn't make sense that it's her. But then so much happened, and I was like, I guess.
No, she's dead.
Okay.
She's dead.
Got it. So, so you started just making Awakening and then putting it out. And you have like a bit of a following now. How did that like come to be?
Well, I had friends who were supporting me from the start, because one day I was like, I want to make a comic out of this, because everyone knew the basic story, and I thought it would be very cool to put it all together. And I also had the art following, because I make art, and they were like, cool, we can see if you can do something with the characters you draw, but you never tell us about it.
Yeah.
And I thought, yeah, I can make something. And it has grown on me so much. This is a very important part of my life now.
Yeah. And you've been at it for what, 2 years?
Yeah, yes.
So, yeah. So, and you say we're just in the beginning. So you think this is going to go on for like the next 4 or 5 years?
Well, who knows? I'm very focused on this story, and I really want to finish it before starting another one, because I have another story already in development.
Oh, nice.
And it's completely different setting, and it's a modern city, and it's completely different. But I really want to finish it. Yeah, I don't know how many years it will take, but I'm sure it will be a great experience for me.
Yeah. I guess what inspired you? Like, do you read a lot of comics normally, or like, how did you get inspired with this story?
There are artists that are inspiring me in their artworks, so I like to read a lot of comics and a lot of manga, and some of them are really interesting, and they can I was always amazed how it is that comics can tell a story with images and with plots and characters, and I thought this is very important, and I know that this is a different experience than book or the movie. So I thought I want to learn what makes comics so good and what makes them so moving to the audience.
Yeah. Do you think your own work has, since you started, like progressed immeasurably?
Yes, yes, totally. It's like I can see that my art development is going in the right direction, and I'm satisfied with everything. I'm trying to show this whole story, and I'm trying to get in the mood. So I'm trying all my artistic skills to I let it develop on me.
Yeah. So, would you say what's your like favorite part of the process? Like I know you've had it written for a while, but is it like rethinking the story and like kind of getting the plot down, or is it like the drawing of each frame?
Well, I like to think about it because I'm when I'm doing my daily tasks, I'm always thinking about it. It's not like I'm just thinking about it when I'm drawing, but when I listen to music, when I watch a movie, when I go to school or go to work, I always think about it, about my characters and about the situation they could be placed in. So I carry a little notebook with me and I write down my ideas and my tiny drawings. So it's I think it's the best part that it's always with me. I'm so much inspired by my own but my own motivation that I just write stuff down. And I like to color it. Yes, coloring is great.
Yeah. So, in your what kind of inspired the whole purgatory world? Because that is some of the most interesting frames when she's just in purgatory and like the maid comes over to like take out her eyes, like
Yeah. Well, this is I was always thinking why in the I don't know, in the old times people believe that purgatory is below the earth and under hell, and it's never like below the heaven. And I was thinking it's really amazing concept to think of a afterlife like as a place that can be expanded to the enormous size, because technically purgatory is the place under earth, so it's like as big as whole planet. So it's I was thinking about um, how it could look like, and I just got inspirations from games and from music. I thought that it would be a good place to start with, because I started to develop the story from purgatory. So that's why. And the monsters are the monsters, but they are also very important to the plot, because the plot in my story is completely three different parts of what it comes together. So it's quite important that there are monsters in this place, and they look how they look like, because it's quite important too.
So would you say like there's not kind of an accidental piece of the story, like everything is intentional?
Everything is intentional, absolutely. I think that every piece of every panel of the story is important, because it says something about the characters, the setting, and the the meaning of the story.
Yeah, that's interesting. And also, I mean, on top of that, you've also just done so much setup, like so many nods to future panels that just haven't come yet. Even like right off the bat, talking about like the fact that Rosalinda got beat. Like I have no idea what that means, and there's just so much where I'm just like, explain it already. But yeah, what was I gonna say? What So like, what made you? Oh, okay, I got it. What's like your ultimate dream for the comic? Like, would you eventually want to see this thing in like a physical copy or something like that?
Mm. Well, yes. This is one of my dreams to have my comic in a physical form, and I want. Well, I think that I want just. I don't have much ideas about it. I want people to read it and to like it, and well, I just want to show people what I'm doing with it and how it influences my life and how much fun I have with it. Because I think if I will have fun while making this comic, they will have fun too.
Yeah, yeah. I like whenever somebody successfully takes me into another world, I always take note because that's huge. I mean, the fact that you could help somebody like escape and just kind of be fully enamored with something else, it's pretty wild.
Yeah, I agree. That's pretty great.
What are some of your favorite comics or movies?
Um, hmm, well, I like movies by Tim Burton.
Oh yeah,
He's my one of my greatest inspirations. I like movies that are well. It's like my main interesting my main topic of interest is Victorian London, and I'm trying to search everything about it. So it's so like all books or all kind of I don't know, like Sherlock Holmes
yeah,
with Robert Downey Jr. Yes, it's really good movie. I like this because they show the Victorian era really accurately, and I'm thinking I'm searching for with those topics. I like reading about. Well, my type of comics or books or movies are quite. They have to be kind of dark, kind of mystery, murder, and such things because then I can search for um, for a way to expand my story.
mm, yeah.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen the BBC Sherlock? I know that's not Victorian era, but it's amazing.
No, I heard about it, but um, I'm not a big fan of Sherlock Holmes as in books
Yeah,
because I think the whole idea that Arthur Conan Doyle was making wasn't really expanded to the point of interest because I think that was it was important because he was developing the story, but I think he didn't made it to the point of making me interested in it.
okay.
So yeah.
So you would say your main interest in the Robert Downey Jr. is pretty much solely because Victorian London?
Yes, I like the costumes, the setting. It all looks so beautiful, and you can see if you are interested in this period of time like me, you can see that there are characters and pretty much everything is set up. So it's really important to see
Yeah.
how society is perceived there.
Yeah. You also give a little nod to Jack the Ripper, like halfway through. Is
Yes.
he gonna come back?
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
Yes, he's gonna come back, and the funniest thing is he is called Jack the Ripper, but he is a character that doesn't really want to murder people because he thinks it's a bad thing to do. But well, I can give much. He will come back, and he will be one of the probably nicest people Caldiso will encounter. I'm serious.
Oh my
He
God.
will be the one of the nicest.
That's fantastic. Um, I'm sorry. Give me like 2 seconds. My dog is like at the door and she's just not
Okay,
letting
okay,
up.
okay.
Okay. Yeah. So I mean, what are some of how did you get started? Like, were you on DeviantArt back in the day? And is that how you got started with art, or?
No, I was already making art, and it was just like I wanted to get it out of me. I was really angry and frustrated that I can't tell people the story I want to tell, and it's somewhere inside me, and I just have to throw it out of me because I couldn't stand the fact that I couldn't express myself. To because often it was just like, hey, I have a cool story. Do you want to listen? And they were like, yes, of course. And I just were talking and telling them about this story for like 2 or 3 hours.
Yeah.
And they just well, oh wait, that's so cool, that's great, wait, maybe you will write a book. And I was like, yeah, I can write, and it sucks, I can write. So I finally tried to do something with it, and I
Yeah.
did.
So, what like do you wanna eventually be in a place where you just like work on comics all day? Is that kind of your ultimate goal, or do you want to do other stuff?
Well, I think it would be great if I could completely turn myself in this direction, because I'm not. This is not my field of work. I'm making movies, actually. Yes, I'm making movies, and I'm graphic design. So it's not my point. This is not my choice to pick. Making comics as something I can do. So I hope that one day I will be developing this story as a work. This would be great. Really.
Yeah. What do you do with movies?
Well, I'm mostly making animation and movies like some short movies with a plot, or abstract ones. So it's not like something I would put in my comic.
Yeah. Do you find that you prefer comic making, or would you say you're just as passionate about animation?
I can see that some ideas from animation and from movies are appearing in my comics, like the panel setting, like the pacing. It's all very, very movie. It's like yeah. It's. I think that those two things are contradicting each other, but I'm putting things that I learned in animation and in movies to put it in my awakening.
Yeah. So, cause I write stories as well, but it's like I write a lot of like sketch comedy, and it's very, very different. But would you say you've kind of been writing and like coming up with ideas since you were like a kid?
Yes.
Yeah, just random stuff all the time. Cause I remember when I was in middle school, I would write like the most convoluted stories, and my teachers would never read them because there was I would always go over the page limit. And then they would just give me a comment like, this was good, but it made no sense. And I'm like, it made sense to me.
Well, I was mostly drawing my things, so.
Oh, right.
Yeah, I was drawing my things, and I really just I couldn't write. I didn't want to write because I wasn't used to put my my minds on paper in a way that everyone could understand. And with art, it's different because I have more control about what I'm doing and how I want people to see it.
Yeah, and you also have the chapter covers, which are like super detailed.
Yeah.
How long does like one of
Yeah.
those take you?
It depends on the complexity, and it's usually around 6 hours.
Wow.
Yeah, 6 hours.
Yeah, and you said that I think it was on your coffee page or whatever, that you haven't really stuck to making something for as long as this. Like, what has it been like to work on something for 2 years and to not even be like, I mean, finished or like close to finished, as you said.
Well, yeah, I'm surprised myself because I never really made something that was this long and this consistent, because always I started my projects and I abandoned them. I tried to write it down, but I abandoned writing Awakening as a book. I tried to make something like a comic, like I don't know, video series. I just, well, I think I'm glad that I made this far, this comic, and I'm glad that I'm consistent with it, and it's something that I'm really proud that I can stick to it every week. It's amazing for me.
Yeah, yeah. It seems like such. I kind of have the same thing. Like, but to kind of pick up something so like ambitious in the scope, it's like
Yeah.
it's insane.
Yes, yes, I agree.
Like how
I'm
since you started, um, I mean, like making a frame then compared to making a frame now, like how much has changed for you in the way you even go about it?
mm, well, I'm doing it faster.
Yeah, of
Yeah,
course.
I'm doing it faster, and I have the complete idea in my mind what I want the panel to have in it, and I think the number of pages of number of panels in one page is a lot of different than it was before, because when you look at the old pages, which, sorry, I have to redraw them one day because I can stand looking at my old art.
Yeah, it's so funny
uh,
how people feel like that way about their old art, but like it's also cool in a sense, especially for a project like this, because eventually
yeah.
it'll be like 3 years back, and you'll be like, "This is how much better I've gotten," you know?
Yes, that's great to track your progress. You can see how much changed and how you develop the characters, and well, I if I set it to myself back till back 2 years ago, I wouldn't believe I got so far. I got so improved in my art.
Or that you even stuck to it and where you're at now in the
Yeah,
story, like
yeah,
it's
that's
actually
great.
wild. Yeah. What would you say so far has been like your favorite chapter? Has there been a chapter where you're just like so enamored with the drawing of it and so into it that you just kind of rolled in it, or is it like
uh,
all the frames?
well, what can I say? I think I had the most fun drawing Cedric's backstory.
Mm.
It was like the most fun thing I did till now, and well, because he's a character that is very expressive. He's very funny to draw. I like to draw him because he's the easiest to draw, next to Claudius, of course. And it was great to draw his character. So Cedric's backstory was my favorite.
To be honest, I think Cedric's backstory for me was also the most interesting. Um, just seeing how he became this like absolute beast of a fighter, and then the trippiness of Vincent's character who I still don't
Yes.
fully understand at all.
Well, no one understands Vincent, even me.
Yeah.
Sometimes he's a character that makes the most unpredictable things. We wouldn't even suspect of him being such a dork and such a. He's really weird character, but he will have his own development, and all the pieces he uh, put in Cedric's life will appear later in the story.
Yeah.
So they are really close and they are really connected to each other.
Yeah. Um, what have you do you have any like avid fans who kind of have been tuning in kind of every week for a long time now?
Yeah, yeah, I have few of those, and it always makes me very happy. Really, I'm really happy. I want to thank all my friends and all the people who are waiting for the chapters and they read it and they comment on it and they share this comic with their friends and family. It always makes me super motivated to make this comic when I post an update or a drawing and they are like, wow, this character, this is so amazing, keep doing your job. And I'm like, I love it. I love making it and to see that people like it too. This is very good.
Yeah.
It motivates me.
I mean, once I found out who Gutez was, I was just like, damn, this is like so weird. um, yeah, I mean, you've been at it for so long. Like, there must have been points where you were unmotivated, right?
Yes, there were some short periods of time, but this was mostly because of my school and my work, because I had so much things to do that I couldn't focus. There were times that I had to take short breaks, and then come back to it. But it was never out of
Out of like
um,
distaste for the series.
yeah. It's it wasn't like.
It was
It
boring.
wasn't because well, no, it wasn't. It never bored me. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
This story never made me angry or sad that it making it, or I was never regretting it. I was always pushing through, and if I couldn't draw it, it's because other things were making me busy.
Yeah. How much time now would you say you put in like per week on this comic?
Um. Hmm. Well, you could say like 3 or 4 days per week.
Just spent on the
Well,
comic?
yes,
Wow.
yes. I'm thinking. Well, it's not just drawing, of course, but it's like I have a lot of. I wish you could see my room now because it's flooded with papers, with avocating script, and with characters drawings and with monster drawings and stick notes with everything I have to do in exact chapter. So, well, I think the planning is half of the work.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
and then you this is the moment I have to draw.
And
Yeah,
it's
Friday is the most intense day because I'm trying to finish everything before the update appears.
yeah. Yeah, it's funny. People don't see like 90% of the work and just like the how am I going to get this across like and like all the planning and storyboarding.
Yeah, it's funny because you start to read it and you just like jump from one page to another in like 3 seconds, and you don't realize that there's a work in it, a lot of work.
Exactly, exactly. And then you start to kind of create something yourself and it gives you like this newfound respect for everything you've read in the past and you're just like, Jesus, this dude.
Yeah.
If I spent this
Yeah.
long on my work and I'm just like flipping through this, like Jesus Christ.
Yeah, that's really great to see the both sides of it. Yeah.
Well, I mean, so this is just I mean, it's just awesome what you're doing and I I really respect it. I'm looking forward to continuing reading Awakening. I would say, what advice do you have for someone who wants to make something so ambitious such as this?
Uh, well, I'm not good at those things, but I can say that just do it. Yeah,
Do it and
just
stick to it.
yes, just do it. Don't let your dreams be dreams.
Exactly. Shia
Yes,
LaBeouf on the
that's
other
great.
end here.
Yes. It's just make your things. I don't worry if someone won't see it, won't read it. They will. If you will stick to it, stick to something that you love to do, and you will do it with all your might, you can do a great job.
Exactly.
I know it.
And even if your stuff isn't really that great in the beginning, I personally think I don't really notice the poor art, but looking at my old stuff, I can't stand it, so I assume it's similar. But
Yeah.
even if your stuff is bad in the beginning, if you're at it for like 2 years, like you are, of course it's gonna get really, really fucking good. So
Yes.
everybody, go read Awakening. There'll be links in the description to Skirtsan's like basically a Patreon page, Twitter, and Awakening. Read all of that. Check it out. Thank you for coming on.
Yeah, thank you.
All right. Peace.
Bye bye.